All right, welcome everybody to tasting number, what are we at? 190 of the Saratoga Whiskey Club. We're doing some fun bottles tonight. All bottles that I returned with from Ireland just 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago now. All of them except for Dingle were distilleries that we visited on this trip. Actually, Teeling was not an official tour visit, but Holly and I were able to run over there for our own little experience, which was really fun. But we're going to go through some of these. Now, I brought back like 16 bottles. We're only doing 6 tonight. And there's going to be a special Irish tasting at some point with mostly hand fills that I brought back from Ireland. So that'll be, it's almost like a different level of tasting. So tonight's tasting are all really great bottlings, new bottlings, fun things to try. But then there's a whole nother tasting that's going to come at some point with more Irish, which we've been lacking with. You know, it's hard to come up with Irish whiskey sometimes because we don't
So are
get a lot.
tonight's tastings, are they generally available in the US, or are these all ones that you only can get at the distillery?
The first one we're tasting will eventually come to the United States. I'm not sure when. It literally just came out 2 weeks ago, just a couple of days before we came home. It came out, it was launched. So it's not something that we're going to see for probably some time, but it should come to the United States. With that said, we are going to start with Dingle. So a little bit of history on Dingle. Actually, the first whiskeys that they made were right when a bunch of us went over there and visited. And that was in 2017, right? Or 2016. 2016. Holy moly, 2016 was when their first 3-year-old whiskey, you know, in Ireland, everything has to be 3 years, just like Scotland, in order to be called whiskey. So it was just a month after we were there in September of 2016 that their first releases started to come out. We were fortunate to get some of those first batches, which was pretty fun. But here we are, many years later now, 9 years later, literally, with their first 10-year single malt release. And this is a big deal for Dingle. This is a celebration moment. You know, we've learned through the club and through our travels that age doesn't really matter. And that's typically true. But 10 years is still a big deal. You know, when you reach that 10-year mark and you can start releasing some double-digit aged whiskeys, that's a big thing and something to celebrate. So we are going to be starting with a bottle that I picked up in duty free. I was hoping I was going to get one before we came home because I saw it all over the interwebs. It was being promoted like crazy. Not only was this Dingle 10-year single malt release, but they had 2 other releases at the same time. They had a Dingle pot still that was released. Now, that wasn't an age statement whiskey, unlike this 10-year single malt. And then they also had a single cask release, which was pretty cool. That was probably very hard to get your hands on. But we are doing the 10-year Dingle single malt. They have a beautiful new design, new packaging, very different from what they did before. I think it's pretty sharp. The old ones were fun too, but I like this new one. So this is a combination of 3 different casks: bourbon, ex-bourbon casks, ex-port casks, and Pedro Jimenez sherry casks. So 3 different types of wood. Bourbon makes up 65% of the cask type. Port is 30%, so pretty big port, and 5% Pedro Jimenez. Now, the club did a Whistle Pig bottle many years ago as well, and we know how much port can influence a blend. So 30% port is quite high of a number. So be interesting to see how many of you are pulling out port notes. I have not tasted this yet. Um, and yeah, so Slanja Ba. Slanja. Biskibaha. There you go. Oh, it's really fruity. Wow. Wow, yeah, it's like a, yeah, berries, fresh berries. Oh, I'm getting mango. Big mango. I love mango too. Oh my God, it's my favorite fruit. Ooh, mango.
If you like mango, next time I have to get your hands on pawpaw.
Mm.
Getting more mango on the finish line.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I mean, it's got some thickness to it. It's only 46.5% ABV.
Rich in flavors for low ABV.
Yeah, it's got a pretty nice viscosity, kind of oiliness to it.
It's like how the Ben Rioch is only 46% and has a lot of bold flavors.
Yeah.
Kind of effect.
Here we are, all going back towards 46, 43, 40%. And everybody's like, oh, it's so good. What is going on? I think we're getting old. That's what's happening.
Professional tasters water it down to like 20, 30%.
Any thoughts on this? Any tasting notes other than mango?
Oh,
Where's Tony?
3 seconds on.
Traditional Dingle with lots of yeast and maltiness on it.
I saw that this dram is making David yawn.
That was pretty close.
Saw that, Dave? Yeah. I mean,
3 seconds late.
long day.
I just did a 5-second
Long
count.
day.
I'm wrong, and then I saw it.
So I bought this and I bought the 7-year Method and Madness at the same time, and I don't remember. I think this was more around $80, somewhere in that range.
Great deal.
Not bad. 80, maybe $85. Yeah, I think it was like 70 euros, maybe, or 75 euros.
That's amazing.
That's duty free as well, but yeah.
But this is not something you can resell.
No.
So this is a duty-free exclusive, right?
This is just for the club. Yeah.
So Charles, this is a duty-free exclusive?
No. No, they're selling it all over Ireland. Yeah. They're going to be selling this in the US at some point. Yeah. I'm not sure when, but yeah. Pretty solid though, I think.
This would be nice to have on the bar cart.
The vast disparity between this one and the last one. Don't smell the last one yet, but it's going to be night and day. I just have to say, it's, we're taking a ride around the world on this one. This is very pleasant though, very crushable in a scary way.
Yeah, this could be a deadly thing.
Yeah, this is now. I don't know. Some of you remember. We have that Dingle single malt on our shelf, which is not an age statement Dingle single malt, but it's very different. That one is definitely younger and not as good. Yeah. You should still buy it, but it's not as good.
And then you have a high dollar deal.
Yeah, we got that one's incredible. Oh my God, that we have another Dingle in our shop right now. That's really good. Special.
What's that one?
It's a limited edition, part of a series. But we tasted that one. I can't remember the casks, but they're all different cask types. Yeah, but those are special bottles.
Widow Jane bourbon cask.
Oh wow. Yeah. No wonder why it's good.
Anybody online have any comments? Good, bad, ugly?
Oh no, I like it, but there's something I can't put my finger on. I would almost think there's a hint of peat. It's not really peated, but it must be from the
the port.
The Pedro Jimenez
Probably
barrel.
the cask, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
Dense and syrupy.
Yeah, it's quite syrupy. Yeah, yeah.
Charles, this is more of a general question. I mean, we went with you guys in 2018 and did a bunch of them. It seemed like a lot of them were, still sourcing their whiskey. It sounds like, the majority of what you saw now have their own stuff. Are you seeing a big difference there?
I mean, they're all in that world where they start by sourcing until their stuff is old enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dingle was one of the few. They did do one release early on that was sourced, but that they quickly realized that was a mistake, and they pulled back from doing any more of that. So, literally, Dingle has just been releasing their own stuff when it comes to whiskey. So they're kind of a different, player when it comes. But there were quite a few that we were visiting that had both source stuff, older source stuff, and then like actually the Hinch that we're having, the fourth whiskey tonight, that's actually sourced. But then I also have a bottle, a handfill of their own stuff that we'll do at another tasting. So they all are releasing at this point pretty much their own stuff as well. But then they still have
interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. But this is Dingle. This is all
right.
Dingle. The next one, however, is not Teeling. They did source. They don't have a 15-year single grain. So
Is that old Cooley stock? Or?
Yeah, it's most likely Cooley. But yeah, we'll go on. We'll go to our next one.
Yeah, these are the background.
All right, we'll move on to Teeling.
Not in order of love.
We do have a sad story about Dingle, though. You remember the dolphin? Fungi.
The dolphin?
Yeah, they had a dolphin that would hang out in Dingle Bay for like 30 years called Fungi. And they actually would do boat tours, and you would go out and the dolphin would come up and play next to the boat. And it was the only dolphin in the bay, because when another dolphin would come in, Fungi would like basically, run them out. And it's very unusual for a dolphin to be on their own. They usually are in a pair or in a group. But it was a very typical or unusual dolphin. And during COVID, Fungi took off and never came back, and we're not sure if it died or. So it's kind of sad. So when you drink Dingle, you pour a little bit out for Fungi, on the curb, just for the homies. And
our hotel was just down the way from the statue they have.
Yeah. So, all right, enough animals. Let's get back to whiskey here. All right, we're doing Teeling. All right, so Teeling, they were established in 2015, so 10 years old now. So they should be coming out pretty soon with a 10-year-old whiskey as well. I have not seen that yet, I don't think, but we are. So what Holly and I did on this trip is we had a little bit of time before the tour started, so we went to Teeling. I wanted to do the distillery tour again. I'd already done it a couple times, but I always like doing it again, just because there are certain things that you pick up each time that you forget, or maybe it's something new or whatever. But when we did the basic tasting, so we didn't sign up for an elevated tasting or anything, because our plan was to just do the simple small batch, and I think it was the single grain, and they had a cocktail. That was like the cheapest tour you could do. And then you go to the bar and you basically say, I want a sample of everything that's on your shelf. And that's truly the way to do it, because you're going to pay an arm and a leg during the tour for something that you might not, want, but then you can just pick and choose. So we did the hand fills, we did the limited editions, the distillery exclusive. I think we did like 6 or 7 different bottles. I was planning on doing one of the hand fills, and it was a Oloroso. They had 2 hand fills. One was super expensive. It was like 300 plus euros. It was just too much. I think we did taste it, but the other one was an Oloroso, like a 10-year or something. And it was way too much sherry. It was like you couldn't taste anything, but I think it was sherry, or maybe it was a Bordeaux. It might have been a Bordeaux actually, but it was all wine. It was just way too much. So we started tasting through some of the other things, and this Teeling 15-year single grain was one of the things we tasted, and we both were like very, very pleasantly surprised with this. So this is quite unusual. This is a single grain, so we're talking now corn, maybe some wheat, possibly even some rye in this. They don't actually disclose the mash bill. It is 100 proof or 50% ABV, but this is finished in very unusual casks. This is finished in Sauvignon Blanc, which most people have never tasted a whiskey finished in Sauvignon Blanc. I think it might be my first Sauvignon Blanc finish. So this seemed to be the winner of what we came home with. I don't think I bought another Teeling. I don't remember. But yeah, so this is Sauvignon Blanc cask finish, 15-year single grain. This is sourced most likely from Cooley, which is the big distillery north of Dublin. That's been around quite a long time now, producing big volume. We actually, on this trip, got to stop in front of the gates of Cooley and take a picture. I mean, you're not going to get a tour in Cooley. It's kind of like MGP. You know, you have to have special access to get in there, and we just don't have that Irish blood in us at this point. But yeah, and then some of the Teeling people came from Cooley, so it's a natural that they still get whiskey from there. But let me know what you guys think of this.
So Charles, 1, this is yummy. And 2, I'm a little confused. So single grain isn't a single grain, it's multiple grains.
Yeah, single grain doesn't mean it has to be one grain. It can be a mix of different grains other than barley. There can even be some barley in it. Typically there's not, or if there is, it's a very, very small percent. But it'll typically be a heavy percentage of one grain. So most likely in this case, it's corn. Or you'll see wheat as being that dominant percentage. But yeah, single grain means it's coming from one distillery. That's where the single is coming from. And then grain means it's just a variety of grains. It's not barley.
Wow.
If it's single malt, then we know it's malted barley, all 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Same vatting season, right? Or like
yeah, typically it would be from the same, but you know what? They don't really check that stuff. So I don't know. I think people get away with that part of the rule. I mean, I don't think they're really submitting seasons like that anymore, but I don't know. There could be some people that are sticklers.
I just remember Rick fastidiously typing up his notes when we did that bottle.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it's probably wheat. At least maybe not all of it.
Yeah, there's probably some wheat in this, definitely. They don't say, so it's anyone's guess. I mean, 15 years is a long time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't get that now.
This reminds me a little bit of Found North. Some of the Found North, which are heavy corn. Mm-hmm. It's got that age, that almost Found North quality to it. If this was in a blind advent calendar, I might think it's Canadian whiskey. Thank God I'm not in a blind advent calendar. I would probably
you said that.
It would be crazy to do that.
I would not guess Irish that way.
No, this would be hard to guess Irish. This would be a tough Irish.
I would have probably guessed bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon or it's
Canadian
not a
whiskey,
dark
yeah.
color, so it's definitely not new charred American oak. So bourbon might not be the answer, but
I would not guess.
Canadian rye, yes. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it could be.
Yeah, but Bordeaux casks.
I mean, look.
Okay. Was it a single grain? What was it, a hand fill or it was a hand fill? Maybe that was the one that we tasted that I passed on because it was so red wine. I have pictures.
hey, Charles, you mentioned hand fills a bunch of times tonight. Other than the fact that it's actually filled by a human being in a very deliberate way, does it alter the taste at all?
No, but it's straight from the barrel. I mean, I don't know. It's more of a. I mean,
No robots filled this bottle.
cask strength is the same thing. I mean.
There you have some complexity to it, I guess.
I mean, it's more the experience than anything. But they're also something you can only get there. It's a distillery exclusive thing. There we go. Oh, really? It was a pot still? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I know. I got the whole thing already.
Was it this one?
Bushmills was not allowed.
He wouldn't trust Bushmills either because he was not
TWC?
Ireland.
Probably. This is a handful. What, you have a picture or no?
No.
Oh, okay. I think it's this one though. I think this is a red wine. Yeah,
So it must be the Sauvignon Blanc in this one, but it's really got a dry finish.
Yeah, I mean, but does Sauvignon Blanc have a dry finish though? I thought it was more of a fruity finish.
Well, it doesn't have to.
Okay. I just think of like New Zealand, the grapefruit notes, but I guess that has a little bit of a bitter note to it. It could be a dry note.
Well, what else would be contributing to the dry? Because I think it's a very dry finish. I like it.
I mean, the dryness could come from 15 years in oak.
And then I take.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's probably a part of it. I don't know if the finish would contribute to the dryness or not, but
Okay.
and I'm not sure how long the finish was for either. So that could make a difference as well. It doesn't say on the bottle.
Yeah, it's like at the Brady Library, everything I drank there was there like 2 weeks.
Charles, have you seen a Chardonnay finished
Barrel.
whiskey?
I've seen a few.
How have they worked?
I haven't been too crazy about them, to tell you the truth. I also had a champagne finish whiskey, which again, it didn't work. I mean, it was incredibly expensive because it was a champagne cask that Bunahaven got their hands on, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me. Chardonnay is kind of weird. It's so oaky. You're finishing with oak in a way sometimes, but I don't know. I'm not saying it can't work. It's just the ones I've had haven't been standouts. I like this one. I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, I like this one quite a lot. I like the first one. I think Eric and I both were like, we don't have a lot to say. It was like, it was good. It wasn't anything special, like memorable. Like,
yeah,
it was good. It was good.
I mean, it's a 10-year. There's nothing wrong with it. Single malt. I mean, sometimes with Ireland, you have to get picky and choosy because some of the stuff is not real or not. That's real. So I don't know. There's something about that. All right. The crowd is getting restless. Yankees score yet or something? Or? Oh, 1-0. All right, so we're going now to Northern Ireland. we're going to the oldest distillery, technically. Well, it's a battle between Kilbeggan and Bushmills, but definitely it's the oldest distillery in Northern Ireland, we can say for a fact. A lot of people will say it's the oldest distillery in the world as well. So when we were at Bushmills, we did their elevated experience. I had never been to Bushmills. I had actually never been to anywhere up north. So this was a pretty eye-opening trip for me. Now we tasted through a bunch of whiskeys at Bushmills. A lot of it's part of their core range, which is all 40% basically. You know, they make single malt at Bushmills. They were recently purchased by Jose Cuervo, so they're now a tequila-owned company, and a lot of change has happened at Bushmills in just the last few years since that acquisition. So Bushmills is definitely trying to take itself in a new direction, which is great. I mean, I think anytime you have such a big distillery trying to reinvent themselves in a way, it can be good. And I think in this case, it could be really fun and special, because I think they're also listening a little bit to what the climate wants, and not just what Bushmills has done forever. I mean, I've known Bushmills forever. I remember when I was living actually in Mexico in the early 90s, the only whiskey you could find was Bushmills in Mexico. It was like, wow, okay, we're gonna drink Bushmills from here on. But so this one's a distillery exclusive that we're tasting. This was the only distillery exclusive that they offered. This is a 14-year Bushmills that's matured fully in Bordeaux wine casks. Okay, so if you look at the color, for one, you're going to get that red hue of a red wine. You know, you're going to get that color in there. Now, they don't release cask strength things at Bushmills. I mean, that's a shame. However, I have a special treat for you coming up, but this one is 48%. This is the highest that they go at the distillery for distillery exclusive. This is 14 years. They do have some, let's see here. It says delicate single malt aged in Bordeaux. Oh no, aged, oh sorry, this is a finish. It's not a full maturation. Aged in bourbon and sherry barrels before finishing in luxurious Bordeaux wine casks, giving notes of warm honey, ripe summer fruits with subtle spice.
I get a lot of earthiness and musty kind of dunnage kind of stuff.
Well, it's definitely fruity on the nose.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And you do get
It's really dry.
tonic, sulfur that you get from the red wine.
Yeah, dry finish.
That old Frankenberry cereal.
I still eat that every day.
I'm worried about your back.
I'm still waiting for a Cocoa Pebbles whiskey.
Oh, there is some out there like that.
That was our Club New Riff, the first
yeah,
bottle.
right.
That hasn't been commented on yet. So.
I mean, it's got some things going on here. It's not a throwaway. It's I remember tasting it at the distillery and was like, all right, this is worthy of bringing back to the club, and you know, trying a Bushmills that nobody's had before, and from a very large distillery, obviously, that can get lost.
I mean, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Really good lights.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You would think that it was a cash strength, but the way it's coming down the glass.
I know. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it is low.
It is. 48.
By
So-
your standards.
So one of the things you have to remember,
Give me 62%.
one of the things that we haven't really talked about is distillation in Ireland. You know, Bushmills does triple distill. You know, Dingle does triple distill as well, and so does Teeling. So, you know, that middle distillation, the intermediate still, is truly an Irish thing for one. There's not many other people in the world doing that.
Springback.
But there are qualities that come from that. And one of them is that when they triple distill, they're actually bringing the alcohol to a much higher proof at the end of the third distillation than you would get in double distillation. So typical Scotch distillation, you're getting up to 65, 70% ABV. In Ireland, when you're triple distilling, you're getting up to 80% ABV. So you're cutting with quite a bit of water to bring it back down to 62% or whatever it is going into the barrel at. It's usually around 62 and a half, 63%. So Irish whiskey has this, I hate the term smooth, but that is a true distinguishing note of Irish whiskey, especially triple distilled Irish whiskey. Because of that triple distillation, they are actually looking for a little less rough notes. They're kind of adding more water at the beginning. In this case, they're adding quite a bit of water at the beginning, and they're adding quite a bit of water at the end to bring it down to 48. So you're getting still a 48% ABV whiskey, but it's definitely a different maturation with that extra water at the beginning. Almost in a way, like if you think about bourbon, barrel entry proof in bourbon makes a big difference. Michter's talks about that all the time, bringing that water, adding that water at the beginning and bringing that barrel entry proof closer to 100 or 105 proof versus 125 proof, which what Wild Turkey and Jim Beam and some of the other big producers do. And you are eliminating some of that roughness, some of those edgy components when you're putting it into the barrel with more water. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought process, something to think about. Irish whiskey, a lot of Irish whiskey drinkers, they love Irish whiskey because it's smooth. If you ask them the one quality of Irish whiskey, they will probably say smooth or sweet even, because they like Jameson, and Jameson's super sweet. But just something to think about as we're tasting these, that higher distillation proof makes a difference. It's something interesting. Obviously, they can't put it into the barrel at 80 ABV or it's going to eat the barrel away. It's all you're going to taste is wood at that point. But
Yeah, I mean, it's been. Each one is a bit better. That's it.
Funny, because I probably have
Yeah,
more
sure.
Irish whiskey
Yes.
on my base than most Irish whiskey.
Irish whiskey gets a bad rap sometimes too. So, and it shouldn't, because there's some really, really great Irish whiskey.
Yeah, actually.
This trip was completely eye-opening. I mean, we saw stuff that I was shocked that Ireland was even thinking of doing, like really, really out of the box, trying to be different, which could kill them too. These young there's 50 new distilleries in Ireland in the last 10 years. 50 is a big number, and there's already 3 that have stopped production, just this year, yeah, or more actually. Yeah, Power Squirt, even Tullamore Dew stopped production. Yeah, just huge. Kilbeggan closed. Yeah, lots of changes going on for sure.
Waterford closed down, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Waterford was the first big one. Yeah. Now, I've heard recently that there is an interested buyer. So hopefully that's going to get resurrected here in the near term. But
Joe's the one that, because I also was kind of biased against Irish whiskeys based on my previous past, but the one that changed my mind was the Method of Madness when you had at the track tasting. That was stellar for me. So I've been really enjoying that.
That was this year's, right? The Gariana cask, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because my parents had a Redbreast 15, and even that I was like okay on, but I really like that Method of Madness.
Yeah, the 12-year cash strength red breast is really the way to go.
Mhm.
That
One of the super old ones, like 21 and 27.
yeah, I mean 21's
Mhm.
great, but those are expensive, but
They're spendy.
they're really good. Yep. All right.
Check out Celtic Whiskey Shop if you want to.
Yeah, I actually, so in that next Irish tasting, there will be a Celtic cask.
Huh.
Pretty phenomenal too. I tasted it. It's pretty darn good.
As good as any Scotch.
Yep. All right, so we're going to move on. So the next distillery is really interesting. So speaking of a tough climate of things opening and closing, something still?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yes, I need another.
I think I actually wrote it wrong. It's no, it is 21 year. But I wrote 22 somewhere, maybe online or something, or maybe on the bottles. I might have wrote on the remote bottles 22 year. I don't know. However, all right, let's talk about Hinch. So Hinch is one of those newer distilleries. Let me see here. Hold on. I have some info on Hinch. Shoot, where's my Hinch? Oh, here we go. All right. So Hinch is also in Northern Ireland. It's not far north of the border. It's pretty close to the border, but it is north. It's between Belfast and the Mourne Mountains. Let's see here. Really kind of interesting story, and we'll talk about them more when we taste in the next tasting of Irish. But the founder was pretty interesting. He's a very, very big time like wine guy, like had vineyards in France. I think he even had some stuff in Switzerland. He definitely had a ton of money, and he was just playing around with a lot of things. And he was like, we need to open an Irish distillery as well. So Hinch is the name Hinch comes from the nearest town, Ballyuninch, meaning town of the island in Irish. So they're definitely trying to create their own identity there. They began in 2016, so it's been 9 years. It's beautiful. Like this distillery is absolutely gorgeous. A ton of money was put into this. However, man, there was like nobody there, and it was one of those kind of scary situations right now where you see this beautiful, well thought out distillery concept. However, you know, the future is a question mark. How the good thing, well, interesting thing is the person behind it has a lot of money, so he can hang on, whereas some people probably are not able to hang on as long. So what we're drinking tonight is not Hinch. It's obviously way too old to be Hinch. Hinch just started 9 years ago. When Jose Cuervo took over Bushmills, Bushmills sold off a bunch of casks to lots of different people. And Hinch, the owner, I guess, or somebody at Hinch had access, and they were able to buy a bunch of older Bushmills casks. So this is a Bushmills 21-year cask strength whiskey at 54.1%. This is a Refill Oloroso cask. There were 296 bottles of this. This is a single cask. The interesting thing about this, and it took a little bit of digging to get the name of the sourcing of this, but the guy liked us, and he told us it's Bushmills. The price of this was unreal. So in a good way, they were like literally giving this away. It was unreal. And I was like, how can you not buy a 21-year cask strength Bushmills in Refill Oloroso? I mean, this is ridiculous. I paid probably like $90 for this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd say give me 10.
Yeah. So this
You should have bought a case.
Well, I was buying 1 or 2 bottles at every distillery I was at, and I could not buy a case. I did buy another bottle at Hinch that will have, which is their own juice and their own maturation. But this was the special one that I was like, I gotta get this. And this would be great to go with the other Bushmills. So you have Bushmills, which is what I did tonight in the tasting. So you can thank me later. This should be like a $300 bottle, probably. Knowing how much the Bushmills 21 goes for now. The regular Bushmills 21 at 40%.
So I have a very weird comment.
Uh-oh. Shalom has a comment.
Really?
Weird comment.
Really?
I love the nose. And when I was a kid, I'm old, keep that in mind. When I was a kid on a really cold winter night, my parents had these electric heating pads that they would give us to keep us warm. The aroma, a little bit of the nose is that aroma of the electric heating pad.
So there's a little bit of funk in the back end.
It's like corn nuts or some kind of funky corn. I don't know. I got corn nuts.
Yeah, corn nuts. Corn nuts.
That's what
I love it.
That's what I get.
That's perfect. It's like in the back of my throat.
Are you tasting?
Yeah, that's no bag corn nuts.
I'm gonna go home.
You know what that is?
What was the cereal where the scarecrow came out of the?
Anybody else getting corn nuts?
Yes.
That's why.
How are you? Eat my cereal. Like, no, it was a cereal.
Have some hints of honey.
Like, what is the Refill Oloroso
No, it was like
bringing? It's like this. It's a richness, right? There's a richness to it.
I almost get a honey taste.
Okay, I get the honey note for sure. I definitely get this roasted corn note. It's weird. That's kind of a weird thing. You put it in my head, and now I can't get it out of my head. But,
It's probably off base, but burnt marshmallow.
yeah, there's that. There's like a burnt note, a little bit of a burnt.
Like the outside of a campfire marshmallow.
Yeah,
when you get the
yeah.
Maybe like a little, yeah.
This is delicious.
Yeah. I'm getting it high on my palate as well, like the top of the palate. It's buttery. There's like a thickness to it. It's pretty good, I have to say. I did taste this at the distillery, and I was like, oh my God, this is, I can't believe what they're selling. And basically they were just trying to make money at that point, selling as much as they could. Kind of scary, to tell you the truth. I'm going to show you a picture. Hopefully you can see it. Let me see here.
More of an expert than I.
Remember that? No wonder we're all.
So
Like feeding it.
at this distillery, in their fermentation area, they had stainless steel fermentation tanks. They had the creepiest angels above their tanks. And I'm going to see if I can.
So I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
They were huge, and they were taken from some church nearby. But they were the most scary, creepy things. I mean, talk about angel share, but it wasn't in a warehouse. This was like in fermentation.
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like angels. So
You're gonna see it in a Dan Brown book soon.
I just went yellow
The 80s.
by holding that
Not
up.
enough eyes to be biblically accurate.
I think for.
That's good.
I got to figure out how to unyellow. Oh, now I'm starting to lighten up. All right. I turned yellow for a minute there. That was kind of weird.
It's the angels.
yeah, the angels were going after you.
It could be your liver.
And they look over like
The fermentation tanks.
like one in each tank.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to go there.
Yeah.
The first one looked like Queen Elizabeth.
Big. Big angels. It was creepy.
Right, exactly.
All right. So you guys like that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that a special treat?
Very interesting.
Who are you?
I'm never here. I'm only here like twice a year.
Hi, BJ.
This 21-year-old Oloroso.
Refill Oloroso.
Is that from your experience? Is that
Yeah, it can. Refill. Refill. So it could even be third fill.
Oh.
I mean, it's not dark.
No, but I'm saying you get.
It's probably-
Any notes or anything that.
It's probably third fill. I mean, this would be a tough one. Also, blind blind calendar. 21 years, 54%. This would be tough.
I don't get
There's
any.
nothing in the
Yeah.
advent calendar that I would
That's why I
guess
asked.
21.
Yeah.
Get more of a dark chocolate.
I just wouldn't-
That's when you give up and just say New World.
No age statement, new
No
world.
wage statement. That's right.
Yeah, 1794 or whenever they were started. No, they were way before that. When were they started? They were started like 1784. I wasn't too far off. All right. So, you guys ready to move on? I need another piece of chocolate here.
That's almost when you gotta give me.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about Row and Co.
Rowan Co. Sounds like a department store.
Yep, we're at J.C. Penney's. No, so Row and Co. Row and Co. is another distillery that's in Dublin. So actually, before the tour started, Holly and I, and actually Dave Tobias, we went to Row and Co. To check it out. I had never been before, so they were only established in 2019, so very young, 6 years. They are owned by Diageo. They're also owned by, or they're part of Guinness, you know, Diageo's Guinness. So they're right across the street from Guinness. So it's a very common tour to do both Row and Co. and Guinness. So you get your whiskey and then you get your beer. It was actually a pretty cool place. I have to say, I had no idea what to expect. My buddy, who is the Northern California manager for Guinness, he set us up on this tour. So we had a private experience or tour with one of their head guides, and so it's just the three of us, which was really fun. Now, again, they're one of these distilleries that at the current time they have stopped producing. Everything was sparkling, looked clean as a whistle. Obviously hadn't been used in a little while. Sad because, you know, it's just the state of the world, state of the whiskey world as well, and in Ireland as well. Now, they did make a lot for many years, so they do have a stockpile of barrels, and it's actually quite a large distillery. The stills are quite big. They're definitely producing a lot of whiskey. So they have a lot that will be coming out. And what we're tasting tonight, this is their first edition.
Really?
This is their own whiskey. This is not only first edition, but this is their distillery exclusive cask strength. You can only get this at the distillery. This is 58%. This is a single malt. Okay, this is not a pot still or a blend. This is their own single malt, and it is their own distillery exclusive. I was pretty impressed by what they were doing there. I have to say, I went in there without much knowledge or expectation, and I came out of there going, okay. I mean, obviously, it's a Diageo run place. There's a lot of, you know, kind of Diageo feel about it, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty tasty. The regular one, I didn't try the cask strength one, so I bought this one so that we could have it. And yeah, so cheers. Hopefully it's
So it's not triple distilled. It's regular.
they are. I have a video of them. I believe it's double distilled there. Let me
It's
pull it up.
surprising that the nose is so gentle considering it's 58%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's got some things going
It
on.
does
It's got
have
some taste.
spicy, I love the palate. Palate's
I
good.
concur.
I was
And the
not.
finish.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one?
The finish is a little.
Oh no, it is triple distilled. Triple
It's only one
triple
reason I buy
distilled.
it.
Unless they're only using 2 of the 3, but I'm pretty sure they're using all 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's triple distilled.
It's very good. Seriously.
Well, we need him to do it now.
Yeah, it's my fave so far.
Charles, I know you've been busy, but if you ever get a chance on Netflix, you got to watch House of Guinness.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, are you? It's
I am.
cool.
I'm about halfway.
Yeah.
I just started it this week, so
No spoilers. Yeah.
yeah, don't no spoilers.
I'm not.
No,
Nope,
no
no.
spoilers.
Bill Diane.
I just one thing. They make beer.
Yes. I was actually, I think, at Guinness when I saw that was coming out. And I was like, oh my God, talk about timing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I couldn't wait to get back to start watching that. Yeah.
It's real nice.
Very fun.
And then we'd be like, I mean, it's like.
I think I have like just not castrated, just like the
So one of the nice things that they had at this distillery was, and again, when you're in Dublin, you have a much larger audience. Obviously, there's so many people that come to Dublin. But they had this really cool, and I'll share this. It was like a blending course with big blending bottles that you could pull and make your own cocktails with. Like a really cool experience. So the guy took us in there and we made our own old fashions with one of their whiskeys. And he told us what he thought would be good. And they paired it with some chocolate. And I think it was a pretty high gummy, it was probably 15 milligrams. So we walked out of there and we were happy, but we had no idea where we were. No, it was good. It was good.
Hey, Charles, what is this finished in?
I think it's just your sherry and bourbon. I don't think it doesn't say on the bottle. Let me look. I'm going to look quickly. Oh, that was another thing that they did there. They did use the Solera method. So taking some of the old whiskey from an older cask and putting it with the new. So this has some older, but then also the youngest would be 3 years, obviously, because it has to be in order to be Irish whiskey. But
Yeah, we got at Hill Rock. We got to taste the Solera.
What's that?
At Hill Rock,
Oh yeah, yeah, like Hill Rock.
Exactly. Solera, yeah.
No, it has nothing. It's just that's what sherry producers do, the Solera method. So people connect that to sherry, but it's just a method. It's just a way to do it.
I love the nose on this one.
I like this one.
All right, so oh my God, enough with all of the be the first to know. I don't want to. Nose taste.
I started Scotch and Clay is trying to educate you.
Yeah, you know they're not showing Larry.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's going to be a combination of bourbon and sherry.
Okay.
Which is kind of typical for Irish, but I don't know. It could be something. I mean, it definitely has some sherry note to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not 100%, I don't think.
So Solaris can never be.
I mean, Solera could be age statement on the youngest in the Solera, but they wouldn't do that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. They had a beautiful cocktail bar as well. Like, I mean, they did it right. It was really nice space.
Was this also
Yeah.
before the tour? Sounds like the pre-tour was the...
No, yeah, this was pre-tour.
Yes.
No, but the tour was like this too. No. The whole tour was banging. No, seriously, I came home and I was knocked out. Like, it was one of those trips where my body gave up towards the end. It was as much as I could take.
She got on that scale.
I'm a little worried. I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'm like, I'm pre-gaming right now, which is a little scary.
Always remember whiskey tasting girls.
All right, we're expecting the same thing when we go to Louisville.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Come on. Party on.
Yeah, party on. You'll be carrying me around by then, Dave.
There we go. Diane can do that.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you where I'll point where we go, and you guys can have me on like a stretcher or something, and we'll just. Hey, Dave, Tobias, how are you? Hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you remember when we were at Row & Co, if they mentioned the barrels that they used for this release?
All I know is I just keep buying.
I barely remember going to Row & Co.
Oh, good trip.
It was a great trip. They all run kind of together.
I remember getting you home that night. Let's put it.
Yeah, that was. It took you and Holly to get me home.
We had a good time. It was good.
We had a great time.
This whiskey is bringing me right back. Oh my God. Jeez.
Which one are we on?
Row & Co.
We're almost done. I'm sorry, Dave.
It's okay. I knew I was going to be late.
Yeah, we couldn't wait.
Not drinking beer.
Dave, were you watching Baltimore?
Tonight?
Yeah.
No, they're not playing.
That came from a Yankee fan. So
figures.
Yeah.
I am
All right, so we're gonna wrap up with again a truly unique. It's really gonna be different. Okay. All right, so on our trip we went to Donegal, which was great. I had never been up to Donegal before. We went to the cliffs, which were fantastic. We did a bunch of really cool things up there. But we went to what used to be called Sleevely, which is now called Ardara Distillery, which is we have Silky. So some of you know Silky, so that's the same distillery, okay? But Silky was sourced, okay? Silky was coming from Great Northern or Cooley, I can't remember, one of the two. And they were playing around with different barrels. They did stout barrels. But Ardara is the new kind of next level of this kind of history of this distillery. And they also had a very, very beautiful distillery. All right, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, so Ardara, this what we're tasting tonight is the inaugural single malt from the distillery, but this is the cask strength version of it. They had a regular 46% version of it. This is the cask strength version of it. It is heavily peated. It's 55 ppm, so way up there. I mean, we're talking Ardbeg, Lafroig. We're getting up there in ppm. Not Octomore, but we're getting up there in ppm. Now, what is really, really interesting? Hold on, guys. You gotta listen to this. What's really interesting about this is their distillery is what they call all grain in. Okay, so normally when you have a distillery, you're putting your grain in a mash tun. You're adding hot water, maybe even different hot waters to it, and then you're just taking out the water, the sugary wort, right? That's what you're taking out of the mash tun. At Ardara, they're putting all the grains in and they're taking all of the grains out. They're not leaving anything in the mash tun. They're bringing that over the fermentation tank. They're fermenting it, and then they're putting it all in the still, okay, with the grains. Wow. It's all grains in, okay? So what that means is in that first distillation, you have a bunch of guck at the bottom that is going to give you even more like grain forward flavor. No. This is all whiskey. It's all barley. This is single malt. It's really interesting. So they have 3 4-side Scottish stills, copper pot stills. They're so the thing to think about it is we went to Waterford back in 2019. Waterford was pushing the envelope of Irish whiskey by double distilling, by taking local grains, by being this grain to glass distillery, something that Ireland had never really done before. They were trying to be unique. Now you have these northern distilleries in Ireland playing around with all sorts of craziness, right? This is like, if anybody tasted this and thought it was Irish whiskey, they'd be out of their mind. It's quite polarizing is the word that I like to use. It's very ashy. It's very kind of in your face, but it's pretty awesome at the same time. Like, obviously, if you don't like peat, well, it's going to be a problem. But if you have any inkling to peat, it might be something fun, right? It's definitely different. It's young. It's only probably 4 years. Maybe a little less than 4 years. So it's pretty young. But this is their, this is where they're headed.
That's a good comment.
So it's got this it definitely has this like stringent kind of quality to it.
Yep.
Almost makes you It is very earthy, but that's the all grains in. So you have to kind of think of the way they're making it, what they're trying to get at, and how they're trying to be different. I mean, and that's
really interesting.
that's truly what they're getting at. Now, the people there are super proud about it. They've already won like awards on this whiskey, which is pretty wild.
Cool family. We met some.
Yeah, we met them. They were both there when we were
They
there.
were into all this like.
What's the ABV on this?
What's the ABV?
58.5.
58.5.
I like
This wasn't cheap. This was actually like $130 or something, but because it was their initial release and cash strength and collector's item. I mean, this is a collector's item in a way. It's definitely not going to be for everyone. That's why I said we're going to be crossing the world.
This is in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Some people are going to love this, and some people are going to have a hard time with this one. So,
You and I were pretty similar in a lot of stuff.
Dave, did you have any thoughts on Ardara and what they were doing when we were there? You're on mute still. You're muted.
Like Springbank or Canyon Park.
No, I think we were all having trouble getting our heads around this all grain in, the way that they did it, the mechanics of it. But it certainly seems to work.
Yeah. This wasn't the only all grains in that we saw as well. There was one other. I think it was Ecklandville, maybe. That might have been all grains in. There was one other, and I think it might have been Ecklandville. I can't remember, but Holly would know.
I have to go back and look at all my photos to determine where I was on a particular day and restore the context.
By the way, it's like
Because I had all this alcohol interfering with my
There's
perception.
a lot of band-aids going on in it.
Band-Aids.
Yeah, there's definitely the Band-Aidy note. The
Band-Aid, yeah.
First aid kit.
I'm gonna go Matt Coldrick and say parking lot of a Jiffy Lube,
Yeah.
or is it a waiting room?
You ever had a heating
No,
blanket?
it's Rocky Road ice cream.
You ever had a heating blanket with corn nuts? And corn nuts are burnt.
When you're 30 socks, you got
Chad, it's French vanilla. Hardly.
I can't keep the natives from wanting to take off their thongs. It's at this point where I'm just hoping that there's some palm leaves around that they can cover themselves with.
I can see why it's only you on camera, Charles.
This is very.
Yes, everything's recorded. Everything is recorded. We are transparent whiskey club. We are the transparent whiskey club.
In a still.
But would you ever say this is Irish?
No, of course not.
This would be a
Who would think this is Irish?
This would be a fun
Never.
I think maybe some people would think this is New World because it's
Indian.
got such a different kind of peat quality to it.
I second the India guest.
So
Is there a way of saying that you're going to trick us on the advent calendar?
That's what I was thinking.
that's
I think
not
that's what I heard.
that's not what I try to do. It happens naturally, but it's all good. But we did go to another distillery called Mickle, which is in the Connemara kind of area, and they had access to their own peat fields. Now, peat is very regulated now, not just in Ireland, but in Scotland too. You have to either have a license for it, or your family already owns the fields, and it's like grandfathered in. So Mickle was in that case where their family with generations had owned those peat bogs, and so they were doing peated whiskey too. So there was a lot of like in the north, because that's where most of the bogs are. There was a lot of playing around with peat and trying again be very different. Now, whether or not the general population or the outside of Ireland population is going to grab hold of that or not is another story. But the only way that they could truly distinguish themselves is take the terroir or the peat that was in their area and use it to their advantage. So that's kind of what we're seeing with Ardara. It's, you know, they're in an area where there is a lot of peat, and this was what their great grandparents were making when they were making whiskey. It was peated whiskey. They were using peat to malt the barley back then. They were using peat to heat their homes, to cook with, you name it. So it was just part of their lifestyle. So kind of fun to try the first release, especially the cask strength version of it. Sanjava, yeah, good stuff. So
Vinny and I are trying to figure out what it reminds us of, because it's got some of the characteristics of Lefroy, but it's not as sweet as Lefroy.
No,
and it's not as briny as Talisker.
It's really unique.
It's unique. I really like it.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But it's definitely different. It's not.
Is that a good word?
Yeah, no, it can be.
Oh, that's.
There are times when it can't be, for sure.
They started to line it.
And I use that word sometimes different when I'm trying to be safe, but
We ain't getting water for it anymore.
it can be good as well. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
I have 6 or 7
How long has
bottles
this
of water.
distillery been?
So,
Sorry to ask you.
no.
You know, it might not fit into any category.
I've never heard of it.
So,
But it does remind me of something.
no, so Silky,
Right.
the Sleeve League, so they had another location
Oh.
that they were using for sourcing and bottling, and the plan was to open a distillery, okay? But Ardara didn't open until 2022. So this is a brand new facility. That's why 3 years, we're right on 3 years when this came out. We were actually pretty lucky to actually get this. I think it was like just a month ago that this came out. So we're one of the few people, especially in the US, to try this. The reception around Ireland has been pretty positive. Obviously, there are some people who don't understand it or want the peat as well. But they're doing, so far, it seems like pretty good reception. We'll see. Beautiful place, but out of the way.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Connemara was a peated Irish whiskey. That was from Kilbeggan.
Yeah, but that was Scottish peat.
Yeah, so this is, I like this much better than the Connemara.
Now, I have to say the Waterford peated were really good too.
Right, that's what Chad's.
Yeah.
very good.
The Waterford peated were very good as well. And that was local Irish peat.
Yeah, I have two
Yeah.
Waterford peats.
Yeah.
So those are
Maybe
very.
I should tell the peat as opposed to.
I mean,
the
I don't
process
know.
that
Still
they're
my
using.
favorite is gonna be. the
Right.
Dingle.
You should be able to.
I mean, there-
You should. You should. It's pretty hard, but he,
So much variation.
yeah.
It seems like a little
This
different,
came in
yeah.
third.
But I think most of it
Yeah.
is.
No, wait.
at the distillery.
You know, I got a tie.
Tie
with
between this and the Ardara.
So I would have to take
Yeah.
this out of the mix.
All right, guys. Anybody online have any more thoughts, questions?
And then
Likes, dislike. Let me go through the quick online group. What was your favorite? 1, 2. We won't go more than 1, 2. Let's start with you, Doug. What was your 1, 2?
Well, I think the Hinch was a clear number 1 without a close second.
Okay.
And I think my next highest score was the Rowe and Company or the Teeling. They were tied, but for different reasons.
Rowan Cohen Teeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one was super interesting and would have been higher on my list. I just didn't love the nose on it. It hit me wrong. And I found the Ardara to be undrinkable. But I say that taking your point to heart that it was it's no surprise to me that Shalom liked it, and I don't say that denigrating his palate. It's just the wrong kind of peat for me.
Okay.
It was
No,
too
that's
weird.
great though. It's at least you got to try it and see what it's
Yeah.
like. So
I wouldn't
all
have not included it. It was interesting.
yeah. How about you, Larry?
Well, I put on mine 546, but I didn't mean that. I meant 456.
Okay.
I agree. I think the Hinch was my favorite, and the Rowan Company was my second.
Oh, look at this. We got a little bit of a consensus here.
Consensus.
All right.
There you go.
How about you guys, Diane, David? Anybody?
So the Ardara, that was horrible.
What? Are you kidding? Oh, horrible. All right. I thought you were going to say that was your favorite. I was like, what?
Horrible, horrible. I figured I'd start out with that. The Hinch was my number one, and then the Teeling was my next.
Great. Diane, are you consensus?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Let me ask.
The Dora was bad. Yes.
So let me ask the two of you: did you guys also like the Teeling and the Row? Did you see a lot of gap between those two? Score wise.
Teeling in the road. Did we have any get? You know what? They were. No, I don't. You know what? I don't know. I have no idea.
All right. It's been a long day. All right. Meg and Eric, where are you guys at? First and second.
Despite our diverging palates, we were actually unified in Row and Co being our number one and Teeling being number two.
Nice. Okay. All right.
And
David?
then I liked Ardara better than him, but he had it had the sense memory for him of his chain smoking grandparents, and I didn't grow up with any family who were chain smokers, so I didn't have that problem.
It tasted like chain smoking. All right.
Always a good
grandfather's chain smoking.
I mean, I kind of get it. I have to say, not that I had that in my family, but yeah. All right, David, what were your top two?
You only had two.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I only drank the last two, so I
right.
didn't get here in time.
All right.
I'm gonna have to sit and watch the YouTube video
all right.
and go through all
good.
of them again.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll go around the room real quick. Nick?
The Ardara.
Ardara, number one.
The Bushmills.
Oh,
Bushmills. Wow. Holy moly.
Rowan Co. and then probably the Hinch.
Rowan Co. Hinch. All right.
Dingle.
Dingle.
Rowan Co.
Dingle, Rowan Co. All right, so we've crossed the board at this point, which is fantastic. That's what I want in a tasting. Everybody to have a different number one at some point. All right, Audrey.
Dingle.
Ardara?
Dingle and Hinch.
Dingle and Hinch. There you go. Dingle. Got a couple of number ones.
Dingle and Hinch.
What?
Yep.
Wow, I thought Shalom was going to say Ardara. He didn't. Dingle and Hinch.
Ardara is not good.
It's also a law firm in Florida.
No. We're talking across the board. Dingle Hinch for Vinny. Dingle Hinch. Wow, Dingle.
Go figure.
Holy moly. All right, Chad.
Rowan Co. Ardara.
Rowan Co. Ardara. All right, so we got some Pete here. What do we got here?
Ardara and Rowan Co.
Ardara, number one. Rowan Co.
I
second.
never scored 90s.
And he's a horrible scorer. Todd, where are we at? Dingle and Row. All right, there we go. So pretty good mix, which is what we want in a tasting, right? We don't want to all be on the same page. Yeah.
Wow. What about you? What was yours?
You don't ask me those questions.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Charles.
Busman's holiday for him.
93.
I never do.
Well, it's because of the.
I did like the Rowan Co. quite a bit, I have to say. I thought that was pretty good.
I just love
It's hard to not go with the Hinch for me because it's so unique. So Rowan Co. Hinch for me, but I love them all, to tell you the truth. They were all different. There was none of them that I wouldn't drink, and I don't mind the Ardara. I thought the Ardara was different, but it was something that I would make in a Bloody Mary, and it would be freaking really good. That would be an amazing Bloody Mary. Just saying. So, yeah, it'd be expensive Bloody Mary. Let's put it that way. But All right, guys, we're gonna sign off. I can't hear anything, so I gotta let the natives be restless. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks when I get back from this next trip. So
safe travels.
all right.
Take care.
You guys.
Travel safe.
Night.
Night.
Thanks
Night,
so
everyone.
much.